The power of slowing down. You guys may have seen my recent video that I did about slowing down. Some of you seem to really like that. And so I thought I would talk some more about it as I'm gaining a deeper understanding of, well, of many things in life, honestly. I am gaining a greater appreciation for slowing down. Once upon a time, I felt as though slowing down was a luxury only afforded to those who had earned it. Does that story perhaps sound familiar to you? If it does, what I wanted to sit down in this video and remind you all of is a few things. One is that regardless of your past, your history, your ethnicity, your race, your gender, your quite literally anything, you are worthy and deserving to be alive and to achieve those dreams, whatever they are, that exist inside of your head. Something that you might even call fantasies. And the second thing I want to sort of impress upon you or invite you to on board if it's your thing as well is slowing down with everything, honestly, which perhaps at first glance is like, well, how will anything get done if we're moving slowly? And I wanted to share this very brief story with you. And it's this, it was told to me in a slightly lengthier form. However, I can cliff notes it for you guys so you can get it in like a sentence or two. At any rate, we're talking about the lotus flower, and I previously didn't know any specifics about the lotus flower, and in the last few years I found out, come to learn, that lotus flowers actually grow best in mud and actually really only grow in mud. The reason that I'm telling you that is because on the upper layer above the water, when we see the lotus flower, we think how unbelievably beautiful it is, and we don't look beneath the surface and perhaps realize, well, the things that perhaps you could say that lotus has gone through to reach through the water and rise above and to bloom into this gorgeous flower. And if you're asking yourself, how does that all tie into slowing down? Because there comes a point in your life when you realize that the story that you've been telling to yourself over and over may not be beneficial for you. And in fact, really, really not beneficial. You come to a pause. This is where I'm at in my life. That's why I'm able to talk about it. And you look back at all the events that have happened in your life, better and, whatever, for good and for bad. And if you can step back out of that and take sort of a third person's view of your life and look at what did you learn? And I know how cliche it is to be like, well, what did you learn from that? Especially nowadays in the spiritual world. However, understand that there is indeed a lesson, or perhaps better said, medicine within you that you carry from having gone through a specific experience in your life. That is essentially why we go through and experience the different experiences that we have along our journey. It's to build the characteristics that we need to have within us to be our fully most expressed version, if that makes sense. I'm inviting you to slow down with quite literally everything that you possibly can and to include intention, because I have noticed that doing that for myself has made a humongous impact, on everything, including my nervous system, and also my ability to be aware of myself, my ability to shift the things within myself, which perhaps have been on a hamster wheel of repeat rotation, and to say, I choose something better. Slowing down gives you that. What's amazing about it too is that you don't have to, for example, totally put your life on hold and stop everything. Let's just say hypothetically you take 10 minutes a day, and I know I often reference that amount of time. It seems doable for most people. You take 10 minutes a day to just slow down and do nothing. And I'm not even joking. You'd probably be amazed that after not very long, during those portions of time where you're just allowing yourself to be, that's when you get the downloads, those brilliant ideas of something you want to create, something you want to make, something you'd like to manifest in your life, whatever the case may be. As I am both being deeply challenged by being present and aware because I've slowed down in my life, I also invite you to come and experience it with me, because it's also leading me to such a deeper appreciation of the things that I do have in my life. And I know that that's oversaid by a lot of people about appreciating, how it amplifies gratitude to help us manifest by appreciating what we have in the moment. And it's really, really true. I used to sort of think, man, I don't know how much weight there is to that. There's a lot of weight to that. The more that you spend your time being grateful for exactly what you have in the moment, the more it begins to spiral. I wanted to offer you this phrase that, for example, let's say it's a really beautiful day. The weather is perfect. You have food, you have water, you have a roof over your head or a home in whatever form or fashion that looks like. You are, content and happy on that day. So something that you can say if you wish to, which I have onboarded saying myself, is when something's going well and you catch it and you notice, like you're particularly aware that like, oh, I'm having a good time doing this or whatever. If you can say then, thank you for, let's say, this beautiful day and this, I'd like more of these, please. Oh, now I remember who said it. At any rate, I think she said that she does this. Her statement essentially of gratitude, and it's like a dual manifestation / gratitude thing, is acknowledging like, thank you so much for this thing and I'd like more of that, please. And I've noticed that adopting that into my own life has really started to pull in things more along the lines of what I want, and the things that I was not enjoying in my experience before are starting to fall away. So I wanted to share that there are, and I'm discovering more and more benefits to slowing down, and I will continue to share on them because I really think that slowing down in general, as I am deepening my understanding of it and really exploring it, allows you to absorb your world, to take more intentional steps, and therefore to really create a more intentional life and a more happy, peaceful life for yourself. So if you know anyone who this would help, please do share it with them. Subscribe, as that really helps me out as a content creator to get these types of messages out there to those folks who need to hear them. And last but not least, if you, my beautiful spirit soul, need any support or coaching, please don't hesitate to reach out at this email address, where it would be my honest to goodness pleasure to serve you in whatever way I can. Have a beautiful, blessed rest of your day or night, and I will see you, gorgeous cats, in the next one. Namaste. Much love. Stay healthy. Bye. Perhaps. I'm gaining a greater I don't know how much weight there is to that. That the story that you've been telling to yourself over and over may not be beneficial for you to build the characteristics that we need to have within us to be our fully most expressed version. Thank you for, let's say, this beautiful day and this. I'd like more of these, please. Regardless of your past, your history, your ethnicity, your race, your gender, your quite literally anything, you are worthy and deserving to be alive and to achieve those dreams, whatever they are, that exist inside of your head.